Hello, hello, and welcome everybody. And you are listening to Message Delivery. You can't make this stuff up. As we do with the beginning of every show, I'm going to go ahead and pull a card that is meant for the collective. And today we have a card, and it is almost like a carousel horse that is coming out of a glass ceiling. And basically what this wants you to know is that they want you to get off the hamster wheel, get off the carousel ride. They want you to try something new, quit doing the same thing over and over again. You must be bored, and they want you to try something new, and there's some big plans for you. So anyway, along with that, I just would like to introduce my guest today is Cathy with Souly Holistic here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And what we're going to talk about today is we're going to be talking about all sorts of really cool things about energy and Reiki and chakras and Archangelic Light, and just kind of give the 101. So, Cathy, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me here today.
You're very welcome. So tell me a little bit about Souly Holistic. Now, I know that you're in Raleigh, North Carolina, but I understand that you're doing so much connectivity with the COVID situation that it's really not limited to being in Raleigh, which is really great for so many of our listeners. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. So Souly Holistic was created for a place to explore this metaphysical world of ours. And we set up shop, so to speak, in Raleigh, North Carolina, right before actually the COVID struck. So we were open physically for about a month and a half, and then we had to close the doors with COVID. So the alternative way to keep this energy flowing was to do a lot of Zoom events. So we've been hosting every Monday, every Wednesday, doing a variety of different Zoom events, also continuing to do some of the Reiki practices and things like that that we do. So yep, we have a ton of events. I hope that you will join us for some of those, and we'll give you the information later on where it's located and how you can find those events.
Absolutely. And do you offer classes there as well for people that may want to learn this?
Yes, absolutely. We offer Reiki classes, all the different levels of Reiki. We also offer Archangelic Light classes in person. The crystal classes and some of the house clearing classes and items like that currently we're doing on the Zoom, but in person we are in fact doing the Reiki and the Archangelic Light, but we are following the COVID restrictions with making sure that everything is clean and clear, keeping our 6-foot distance, and also wearing our masks.
Perfect, perfect. So this all revolves around energy. So can you tell me, what is energy?
Well, energy itself. So I'm going to actually just read the description that gives us the specific as far as the metaphysical explanation of it. So energy, the spiritual energy, aka prana is another word for it, is universal life force, or ki as they call it. So it's an energy of pure love, it's movement or flow, and it's also the power of the divine that is within all of us. So that divine can be whatever is your connection to your divine. So that's God or Buddha or Jesus or Kuan Yin or whoever it is that is considered to be your divine. It is not a religious in any way, shape, or form. It's very spiritual.
Well, I know that I used my own my own chi energy when I would go to Vegas. I'd walk around and tell everybody I was feeling for chi, and I would always, hey, if I won a quarter, I was happy. So it goes back quite a while, that's for sure. So how would you feel your own, like for the listeners out there, how would they be able to identify their own energy?
So one of the wonderful experiences that we've had, and I've had as a Reiki teacher, is actually showing somebody how their energy flows within them. So we are all born with this energy. And basically, I'm just going to ask you to take your hands and create a little ball in front of you and see if you feel a little tingling. Do you feel warmth? Do you feel coolness? What is it exactly that you feel? So with that being said, you can play with that little ball and you can stretch it out a little bit and see how far you can go until you can't feel it anymore. You'll come back in, you'll feel the resistance of it. So we are all born with this energy. And when you go into these Reiki classes, what happens is you receive attunements for it. And then your Reiki energy becomes stronger and greater. So now this little ball becomes energetic ball. And then that allows us to channel the energy of Reiki.
That sounds fascinating. So you're saying that we all have this energy. And I
Yes.
know that sometimes we all are balls of energy and we're racing around, and other times we don't have a whole lot of energy. So what is our energy tied to? So if we feel like we're lacking it, maybe where are some places that our energy is tied to?
So we have this energetic field that is all around us and within us. And if I may, I have a little chart that I can share with you on the screen. And it's probably just a lot easier to talk about with that in mind, to be able to have a location, to show you where they're located, how it works, and how it all works together, if I may.
Yeah, absolutely. And just make sure that the people that aren't necessarily by a computer have a really good explanation of it.
Okay.
Um, I saw this chart before and I had no idea. It was just interesting to see that, there's balls of energy that are running around with us. And sometimes when you're in alignment, it's amazing.
Yes, so I love this one because this one shows our aura layers. And so if for those of you who are not on the computer and listening by via radio, what I have in front of us is just a small display of an outline of a human body. And then around the body are different colors of aura. So it's almost like if you just drew a figure of a body and then started with different colored pencils and going outward the colors of the rainbow. So your red, your orange, your yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So the red is the closest to the body, and those are layers of our etheric body. So there's the physical body, but right outside of our body. So some of us may be able to see the aura layers and aura colors if somebody's walking towards you and you look at them, and it's kind of right around their entire body. So if you look right to the top of the head, you may be able to see a specific color. And those are related to our chakras. And then we'll talk about the chakras. As you see also on this particular screen, we're starting in the very bottom where our root chakra is, and then we work our way up. And so the next screen that I have, we'll talk a little bit more about the crown, about the chakras. But for this purpose, the aura layers will expand further and further out within our body. So they'll start very close and then just continue to go out. So all of the different layers relate to different parts of our body. So as you see there, the etheric body is layer one, and then the next body is the emotional body, the mental body, the astral body, the etheric template, and then we keep going. So then we're into the celestial body and the causal body. So we expand our auras, and that's what people see and that's what people feel. So if you're one of those people that go to the grocery store and you cannot just get in there and get your milk and bread and eggs when it's a storm and you can't just get in there because everybody wants to talk to you, that's because your aura is so open and so pure and clean that people just want to talk to you and they just want to come up to you. They can see it in you as soon as you approach them.
Oh,
So
isn't that the truth? Sometimes, boy, it's like you walk into the grocery store and you are Miss Popularity. Everybody and their brother wants to talk to you, and other times it's like you've got like something on you that says stay away. So that's really interesting.
Yes. So I usually recommend that if you are running into the store just to get one or two items and you are in a hurry, so close your aura a little bit. And it's really, really kind of simple. All you have to do is reach as though you're seeing your own aura extending about actually about 3 feet around you. And so just reach in there, scoop it all up and just bring it into your heart. And then just ask that you're protected when you run into the store. And basically what happens is, by closing that, it's almost like you can go in there and be invisible. So it's really kind of cool. This was an experiment that I did with myself because I was known as Sister Catherine a long time ago because everybody would come and just tell me their whole life story.
Right?
Yes, exactly. So Sister Catherine just wanted to go into the grocery store and please just let me get in and let me get out. And my girls were with me and they would also go like, Mom, who was that? Why do you talk to them? Why do you talk to everybody? It takes us an hour just to get through the grocery store. So I learned about this aura, and this was an experiment indeed to try to grab that aura and bring it in and then be able to go grocery shopping. And I can tell you honestly from past experience, it works. So if ever you're in a hurry and you just want to go shopping, pull in your aura and then it's amazing. So yes, and you don't have to release it when you get back out either. You can just keep it for a little while. It'll eventually extend itself. So yeah, the auras are pretty cool. It's all about our energy field that is totally surrounding our human body.
That's
And that,
fascinating.
isn't that cool? And that's
Oh, it
actually
is.
associated with our chakras, whoops, which I'm trying to show you here. So our chakra system on the screen that you see now, those are located, and they start at the bottom, and it's the colors of the rainbow. So it's the red, the orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet, from working from the base of your spine. So those are the that are on the radio, all the way from the base of the spine, and then we'll come up a little bit further. The next one is the sacral chakra, and that is about 2 inches below your belly button. That's more into our female area, kind of around your uterus. The next one as we go up is the solar plexus, and that's about 2 inches above the belly button. That's kind of right around your digestion, around your belly. And the next one up is the heart chakra, which speaks for itself where it's located, right around your heart.
Right.
And the next one up is the throat. And that too speaks for where it is, right in the throat. Next one up is the third eye. So if you're unfamiliar with the third eye location, right in between your eyebrows, there's that nice little divot. That is your third eye chakra. And then our top chakra is our crown chakra, which is truly right in the center of our head, right on the top of our head. So the chakras are pretty awesome. And again, they are just the colors of the rainbow, starting from the bottom and working their way up.
So can you tell us a little bit about, okay, so we know that we all have the colors of the rainbow in us, and that's awesome. But what exactly does the chakra do? And how do we know if it's in good working order?
Okay, that's a great question. Because our chakras they're like the spinning wheels of energy that are within our body. So for those of you that just saw the chart that was on the screen, almost picture them like a gear where one connects to the next, and then it works its way all the way up to the top. When we are in perfect working condition, we feel good, we look good. My gosh, we just have this wonderful health and vibration about ourselves. Most likely all of your chakras are in alignment and working well, gearing together in itself. Or you're a good faker because but sometimes one chakra can be out of alignment, which will then cause a little bit of jaggedness with some of the other chakras. But if they're all in alignment, we feel good, we look good. They are spinning wheels of energy. So we almost want to say, envision them like your invisible rechargeable batteries. So if one gets depleted, we can charge it up by doing a variety of things. And we'll talk about those a little bit. But for the most part, the root chakra, which is at the base of our spine, and it's not really in the front of our body or the back of our body. So if you looked at me sideways, it would be about halfway in the middle. So it's following the spinal cord, but on the inside of our body. Okay, so it's not on your back, not on your front, it's more on the inside of your spinal column. And so if we start at the very base, that's the root chakra. That is red in color, and it's our association with earth and this human body of ours and our connection to the physical being that we are. So it's all about connecting, groundedness. It's your stability, it's your vibrance. And if it's out of alignment a little bit, you could have some anxiety, you could have some fear. And if that's the case, then we know, anxiety and fear are housed in the root chakra. So sometimes when we can identify where it's located, then we know where to work. And work, I mean, doing some Reiki or doing some chakra balancing, chakra alignments. And we'll talk about that a little bit when we get into some of the Reiki, the ways that we do Reiki and what we do with those. But we can actually align those and manipulate those to actually be going in the clockwise positions so that they're all in alignment and working well together. The next one up that we talked about was the sacral. So that's about 2 inches below your belly button. And that one is, that's our sensuality. That's our sexuality. That's when we have that very creative side of us, that feminine energy, the creativity, the love, the art, the music, all of that stuff. So, sometimes when you heard about writers that may have a writer's block, it's like, I just feel like I can't create, or an artist that it sits down with their paper and their pen, paint and canvas, and now they're like, I just have this block.
Right?
Yes. So some of those situations you can relate to that sacral chakra, because it's all about our creativity. So when we have a blockage like that, again, determining what is the problem and then where it's located, we can then manipulate some of that a little bit and working toward aligning that, and then the creativity comes out. It's also when you carry a lot of guilt. Guilt is housed in the sacral chakra as well. So sometimes when you're out of alignment and you're just feeling guilty and carrying this with you, until you release that guilt, it doesn't allow you to move forward, and it causes that blockage.
Gotcha.
So it all kind of works together.
That's not the gut then. That's the next one then. The next one is the gut.
The next one up is the gut. Yes. So the other one was the sacral. So that's the one where fear and guilt and anxiety can be in there as well if it's out of alignment. So the next one up would be the solar plexus. And that one is 2 inches above your belly button. So right around your digestive system. That is yellow in color. We associate that with the sun. And that one has a lot to do with your self-esteem, your self-expression, your self-confidence. So those of us that may lack our self-confidence or self-esteem, or we beat ourselves up with words that we say to ourselves, or we let our ego play in our heads a little bit, could need a little work on the solar plexus. So, gotcha. Yep. So when that one's out of alignment, we have that powerlessness. We feel like we gave all of our power away and we beat ourselves up a little bit. So we need to get back to being confident. And, so there's ways that do that actually don't have to be really difficult. And I'll give you a little bit of information on that. The colors of the rainbow are the colors of your chakra. And if you can identify where it's at in your chakra that is creating some problems for you, you can do simple things like eating the color of eating the fruits and vegetables of the color that you're having a problem with. Okay, so that yellow that we're talking about in the solar plexus, if you're having some difficulty with self-esteem and self-confidence, start to look into the yellows of the fruits and the vegetables that we eat. Wear your yellow clothing. So it doesn't have to be this really difficult thing in order to help yourself to get better just by doing work on yourself. Okay, so that sacral area, when we're talking about the uterus and the feminine energy, the color of that was orange. So again, wearing your orange eating your oranges, eating your carrots, eating your root vegetables. So again, it doesn't have to be difficult. It can be really simple, just matching up the colors of the chakras with the fruits and vegetables and the clothing that we wear.
Do Skittles count? Because Skittles come in rainbows. I'm just curious. Okay, because I've
Skittles,
seen packages of Skittles that have the rainbow colors, and that's the easiest way to do it at a desk. So,
100%.
okay, go for Skittles.
I
That's
highly
awesome.
recommend. Yes, those and the Reese's Pieces. Those are orange and yellow combined.
Hey, Halloween is coming up. There is candy corn. I'm gonna nail 3 of my chakras with the candy corn. So
And me both, honey. Let's just get the point for that because I love candy corn.
exactly. So
Yes,
what's the one above that? Is that the heart then?
it is the heart chakra. So what do you think that's related to?
Oh, I don't want to admit anything. That's when you shut your heart down, when you are not open to new opportunities and you go within and you don't outwardly express yourself. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
I'm sad that I know this information, but keep going.
Yeah, yeah. So the color of that one is green, but it's also related to pink too. So there are some chakras out there like flags and this kind of stuff that you'll see with all of the colors of the rainbow that represent the chakras. But the heart chakra can also be represented in the pink state as well, pink for love. So yep, heart, love, not too hard to figure out.
Gotcha.
Yep. So it's
Oh,
giving love and it's also receiving love. If you have a little bit of problems with that, some of the symptoms or some of the thought processes of, well, my heart chakra is out of alignment, you can become bitter. So you
oh,
get this like crankiness about you. You can be very intolerant with things, you know. So I remember going to a restaurant one time and there was a woman sitting next to us, and in the other room there were some kids that were not, very happy to be in this particular restaurant. And this woman, right off the top of the bat, she's like, "The children are screaming," and I just was like, "Ooh." So I think her heart chakra was a little bit out of alignment. She was probably,
definitely.
yes, very intolerant for that kind of thing. So
Oh, wow.
so you'll know when you're out of alignment, when you're feeling a little anxious and you're a little bitter and you're a little intolerant. So that's the heart chakra.
So does it work when you go up to your boss and say, you're a little cranky today. You need to work on your heart chakra. Do you think that would be a valid excuse
I
or
really do.
comment? Okay, I'm just saying, hey, we could all walk into that and just say, is your heart chakra out of alignment? We need to work on that.
And he may send you home, or
Yes.
or or they may embrace that and say, yes, what do I need to do?
This is true. This is
Yeah.
true. So the
Mhm.
one above the heart then is the throat, right?
Yes, ma'am. Throat chakra. So same thing. What do you think that's for?
Well, when you need to speak up, you need to actually have a voice. I actually have a few friends, and their motto for 2020 is to have a voice. No longer just accept whatever, but if it doesn't agree with you, if it crosses your boundaries, do not accept it and speak up about it. So, is that all dealing with the throat chakra?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And in the medical world too, if there's any issues with your thyroid, this is the gland that is also associated with that throat chakra. So,
Okay.
yeah, hyperthyroidism or hypothyroidism. If you have issues with that thyroid, you definitely want to have that checked. And then if you work on that chakra a little bit and it's self-expression and being able to do that kind of stuff, yes, definitely work toward aligning that, because if you are on meds, you may be able to fix that all by yourself and not have the meds that go along with it. So yeah,
Gotcha.
that's,
So the one after that, is that the third eye?
yes, third eye chakra. And then
Yes.
it's right in between your brows. It is all about your intuition and connecting to your divine, just the all presence of knowing. So that one's a really awesome one as well. And that incorporates your eyes, your nose, your brain. So any issues that you have with eyes, nose, or brain itself, you'll know that the third chakra is a little bit out of alignment and needs some work on that. And then last but not least is your crown chakra. So the chakra, the crown chakra is right in the center of the top of our head.
Mhm.
And that is your true connection with your divine. So it is a pure white light. It's also referred to as the purple on the scale of the rainbow. So you can see how these chakras all have connection to our physical body in the energetic form.
Absolutely, definitely. Well, we're going to take a real quick break. And when we come back, we need to dive right into Reiki, Archangelic Light, and we're going to talk about crystals. We have got so much. And also, just want to give everybody a heads up that we're going to have Cathy actually has a 30-minute Reiki session and a chakra stone bag that she is giving away. And we'll give you the number a little bit later in the show that if you are the first caller, that you will win that. And you don't have to be local. You can actually do it long distance. But we're going to take a real quick break. My name is Lisa Ann, and you are listening to Message Delivery. You can't make this stuff up. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, welcome back. I am Lisa Ann, and you are listening to Message Delivery. You can't make this stuff up. I am the owner of angelmessagestoyou.com. That's angel messages, the number 2, the letter U.com. And I'm a psychic medium intuitive channeler. And if you were interested in getting a personal reading, feel free to reach out to me. Just reach me through the website, and I would be happy to give you a reading or help you with your journey in any way that I can. But we have a really awesome guest today. We have Cathy with Souly Holistic in Raleigh, North Carolina. And Cathy has her company that does all sorts of wonderful things. So Cathy, tell us the name and how can they reach you if they want to get in touch with you for some classes or even to receive Reiki or some of the other things that you offer. How can they reach you?
Thank you, Lisa. We are Souly Holistic, and our website is soulyholistic.com, and that's S-O-U-L, so good for the soul. So it's S-O-U-L-Y, holistic.com. We are also on Facebook under Souly Holistic, and we are also on the Meetup in the Raleigh area under Souly Holistic as well. So hope that you'll join us, and our contact information, our phone numbers, our events, they're all listed out there on Facebook and Meetup as well.
Absolutely. And you can actually, you don't have to be in the Raleigh area to actually participate. Is that correct?
That is 100% correct. Yes. Our Zoom events are pretty much every Monday and Wednesday, and they are opened. We have some people from California and Kansas and Nebraska that are on some of our Zoom events. So yeah, we're super excited that we're reaching further out than Raleigh. So yes, awesome.
Absolutely. So just want to get back to what we were talking about. We were talking about chakras and energy, and then you had slightly mentioned about Reiki. What is Reiki?
So Reiki is channeled energy. Dr. Usui from the early 1800s went on a journey to find information out about healing and did this 21-day fasting up in the mountains. And he was given, he had a very spiritual connection and was giving very specific symbols and very specific healing instructions. So he's recreated the Dr. Usui traditional Usui Reiki. There are many, many different forms of Reiki that are out there. So I just want to put that out there. But I do the traditional Dr. Usui Reiki. Most of them, if you've heard of Holy Fire or Karuna, it all kind of goes back up to Dr. Usui in his original form. But he has taught many people over the years. This is, again, we're going back to the early 1800s. Oh, wow. So this, and yes, so it's been around for a really long time. Again, not religious in any way, shape, or form. There's nothing demonic. It's all good. It's all with love and light. It is channeled universal life form energy. So we, as practitioners of it, we channel this energy. So for example, Lisa, if you were to come on my table, I don't get your energy and you don't take my energy. I always love to give an analogy of us as practitioners and compare that with a cell phone. So you have a cell phone, works perfectly all by itself. You have electrical outlets in your house that work perfectly all by themselves. When your phone starts to get run down and you need to charge it up, you have to plug it in, right? But you can't plug plug the phone in, just as you can't plug yourself in. So you need that little phone charger. And that's what we are. We are practitioners, whether you're Reiki 1, 2, 3, master teacher. We are just the channel for it. We are just the conduit that allows us to channel that energy. And it comes through our crown chakra to our third eye, into our throat, our heart, and out our hands. Our energy actually comes from the palms of our hands. So Reiki can be done either hands on or hands off. But we, again, I don't get your energy, you don't get mine. If I'm in a bad mood and and you come to me, you're not going to leave in a bad mood. So I could just
Gotcha.
reassure you that it is truly energy healing. So it is universal. It's channeling universal life force energy and allowing your body to take it in for healing purposes.
Wow, that sounds like, that was a really good analogy about plugging yourself in to say, you know what, I just need some extra energy. Because sometimes we've all gotten to that point where you just can't help yourself anymore. You're just so depleted that if somebody could just help you with that, it would make such a big difference just to kind of give you that little kickstart, and that makes so much sense. So what exactly happens during a Reiki session? If I came in to you, what exactly would happen?
So you'll come in and then we'll just do a little chit chat right up front to allow us to get to know you a little bit. Again, going back to talking about those chakras, allowing us to figure out which of those chakras may be out of alignment. So,
Okay.
with that being said, you will lie down face up on a Reiki table or a massage table, as you call it. And then we do a connection. We ask for your permission to be open to receive the Reiki energy. Cannot send Reiki energy or give it to somebody that does not want it. So it's always for the highest good. That's always included. So sometimes we actually call in your higher self to ensure that the work is being done for your highest good. So you are always protected as the client that is on the table. You are always, always, always protected. We never open you up for potential for something to happen. So you are protected. We are guided. We channel that energy. So you're on the table. We will do hands on or hands off, whatever your particular preference is. And then our energy is placed into each of those chakra locations. So it's really kind of cool. So we follow the chakra line. So we'll start at the head. We'll work with the third eye. We will go to the throat, the heart, the solar, the sacral, and the root chakra. And then you'll typically flip over and then we work on the back side of you and we do those same chakras. So it's aligning the chakras, it's figuring out if anything is out of alignment. You can do some extra work for it, but it is truly channeling life force energy. And then your body takes it where it needs to be. Reiki energy is super intelligent. We don't even need to tell it where to go. And I'll give you a little sample of that. Somebody may come in and say, oh my gosh, my knee is killing me. I can't even do steps anymore. I'm just in so much pain. And then once you're on the table and I do a little scan of your body, I may go to your knee, but then the Reiki energy actually knows that it wasn't the knee, it's the hip. So the problem came from the hip, which causes problems with the knee. And in the metaphysical world, it's all about not moving forward. So then
Gotcha.
there's some of that inner work, the little chakra work that needs to be done in order to allow you to move forward a little bit on that.
So what would somebody actually feel? So, I mean, is there something that a person would feel by being there? Or is it just, I mean, what would somebody expect to feel or know and say, yep, has somebody actually said, wow, that feels better?
All the time. Yes. They will
Okay.
come in. Yes, you're in Souly Holistic, and I can speak for just our spot. But when you come into Souly Holistic, it's a very quiet, it's a very safe space. So we'll put some music on, we'll put some candlelight on, but you're on the table and it's just a very quiet area, which allows your body to relax. And then the energy kicks in. Sometimes you'll feel a little twitch. It's called Kriya. It's all about the energetic field that is moving through your body, and it's like trying to find out where to go to fix things. So you may have a twitch, you may feel heat. Reiki energy is very warm, so it's really kind of cool because you can go from having your hands on their heart and then go to their belly, and all of a sudden it's not so hot anymore because the heart is what really needed to be healed. So it's just wild. But it can be a change in temperature. It can just be the twitch. Overall, though, when they're done off the table, they're just, oh my gosh, they're so relaxed. And sometimes a lot of the pain is gone.
That's amazing. Now,
Mhm.
you had lightly touched upon Archangelic Light. What is that? And I know we've got, we want to make sure that people can get in for the contest. But tell us about Archangelic Light. What is that, and how is that different than Reiki?
So Archangelic Light is the same as Reiki. The difference is we channel it from the archangels themselves. So instead of channeling your universal life force energy, we are still the channel, we're still the phone charger, but we're channeling from the archangels at this point in time. And that is done in a hands off, and that is more on the emotional level. So the Reiki is physical, the Archangelic Light is emotional. And then when you put those two together, that need all of a sudden Archangelic Light will kick in and say, well, wait a second, why is the hip? And a lot of times our guilt sits in our hip, so we can get to the emotional level of the guilt, release the guilt, which releases the hip, which then releases the knee.
So if I can't do the splits right now, it's because I'm feeling guilty about something.
That's right. Let go of your
Oh,
guilt,
problem
woman.
solved. Problem solved. Everybody,
Yes.
your life problems are solved. If you cannot do the splits, it's because you feel guilty. Get rid of the guilt and you can do a splits.
It's
So
so easy. It's so easy. Exactly.
yeah, oh sure. It all sounds all fun and games until you go doing it. So
Yeah.
um what are energetic chords?
Oh, so energetic chords are, um, let's see, the best way to explain that to you. So you and I have this energetic cord. Everybody that you meet in your life has a cord. It is part of your history. It is part of your journey. Imagine it as this beautiful hose between you and somebody else. It's just a connection. And imagine that as this luminous white light that just connects you from belly to belly. So it goes from the sacral and the solar area, from belly to belly, almost like an umbilical cord, but imagine it as this beautiful white, luminous, energetic field. So you'll have these fields, you'll have these cords with everybody. If you get in a fight, if you get in an argument, something happens, and it can be something so small. You have a cord with your mom that maybe, or your dad, and then they spanked you on the butt in front of your friends when you were 3 years old. That energetic cord, what happens is it gets a little nick in it, or a little darkness, because that was something that was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he smacked me on my butt in front of my friends. It was embarrassing. Whatever, all of this that happens in our lifetime with that one particular person, it I have an ex-husband. Okay. So I'll just be honest with you. That cord between him and I, it got pretty dark and pretty dirty. So that's why he's
Understandable.
an ex. Yeah. It's why he's an ex. So the cord cutting, we do this thing called energetic cord cutting. And basically what we do is we take out any of the negative and damaged parts of that cord. We replace it back with love and light. We do not cut a cord completely. So even my ex-husband and I, he's part of my history, he's part of my journey, he's part of my lessons. So I can't cut the cord with him completely, but I certainly can take out all the damage and all the negative stuff, and I can put it back together with love and light. Almost like your garden hose when it springs a leak. You cut, and then put new couplings on and put it back together. This is exactly what we do with energetic cord cutting, and it's all filled back up with love and light. And this way you can relate back. I can relate back to my ex-husband and not have any emotional attachment to that at all anymore. So it's really a wonderful and beautiful, beautiful sacred ceremony.
That's awesome. All right,
Mhm.
so we've got a whole lot more, but I want to give everybody the phone number. If you're the first caller in, 1-800-930-2819, you can actually get a local or long distance Reiki session, a 30-minute Reiki session, and a chakra stone bag. And we're going to talk about some crystals in just a minute. So again, if you're the first caller, 1-800-930-2819. So, okay, so people have these energetic cords, and that, so you're saying that basically you can heal. and heal some of the negative type of things. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So, what would be examples of something that might need healing?
So for the example that I gave you, my ex-husband and I, that
Okay.
that's a trauma. That's a it's just something that didn't work out, and it's unfortunate, but it's a life story. It could be childhood trauma, it could be heartbreaks, it could be the loss of your loved one. It doesn't have to be a trauma in order to need healing. It could just be low energy, for example. So a lot of this, it just builds up inside of us. We feel lonely, we feel this, we feel that, and sometimes it's an ego, and we listen to our own words and we beat ourselves up, and then we go into a state of depression or such. And so those are the times when we definitely need some extra healing.
So it's really a mind, body, spirit connection. I mean, they're really like you're talking about the chakras and where that could come from. So all of these things are all interconnected.
Yes, 100%. Yep,
So
absolutely.
what could somebody do if they don't have the time necessarily to go and take care of and maybe have a practitioner as yourself to help them? What would be something that a person, maybe our listeners, could do on a temporary basis at least to help themselves?
So there's many things that you would be able to do. Walking out in nature, you can ground yourself, you can do saltwater baths, you can sage. So I'm not sure if any of you use any sage in your house.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, saging is wonderful in the house, in the car. It's clearing negativity. If you don't like the smell of sage, there's this, it's called Palo Santo. It's just a little stick. It comes from the Palo Santo, and it's amazing. I love using crystals, and that goes into the crystal talk that we were going to say, and about giving away the chakra stones. These all come with an actual bag and the stones, and then it comes with a little card and the description and all the different chakras that go along with it as well. That's what's up for grabs with the caller.
Okay, so I have to ask, tell me about the crystals in general, because as my kids had said once, they said, so and so is wacky because they believe that a rock has power. And I always hear that, but I have some and I utilize them. And there's an energy and vibration. When you touch them, you know that is for you. So, can you tell me at least a little bit about the history of the stones and what they correlate with? And I know that you offer them too at your store.
I do, yes. I have a small retail section in the Souly Holistic location, and we do have all of the metaphysical supplies as well, so including the stones. But stones are energy. We are energy. Crystals are energy. Reiki is energy. So it's all energy, and it all fits, like you said, body, mind, spirit, and emotion. The emotional body as well. So we have to incorporate that too. And when we're all in alignment, we just feel better, and the stones and the crystals will help us get there. So they are definitely energetic. Some have different properties and others, and some are for protection. Some are for the different chakras that we were talking about, and really to keep it nice and basic, simple for you. This chakra bag has all of the colors of the chakras and how to incorporate each of those stones with each of the chakras. And it's there are some properties you can go into, darker stuff, like you can go into the hematite and the onyx for protection. So it all depends, and we do a crystal class, just so you know. I'll offer that out to you as well. It's very basic. How to choose your crystal, how to cleanse and clear them and charge them, and what to do with them, and how they correlate with all of those chakras as well. But it is definitely energy, and you can use those crystals in your meditations. And that too can help you for healing the meditations as well.
So, what were some of the examples? I know you and I were talking off camera a bit. Um, how do those help? I know you had mentioned your daughter, and then you had mentioned about a hurricane too, utilizing the crystals. Can you share some of those examples with the audience?
Sure. A friend of mine's parents lived at the ocean, and they were with the hurricane coming and such. This was last year's hurricane. She went down there and she put crystal grids around her house. Grid is basically a geometric shape So she put grids on each four corners of the house, and then each four corners of the rooms of this particular house. So it was grid set with the intention of protection. So when the hurricane came through, the house next door was gone. The house on the other side was gone, and her
Wow.
parents' house was still standing and just had some roof damage, but it was totally protected. So when I
You can't
say
make that stuff up.
you can't make that stuff
You
up, no,
can't
no,
make that stuff up.
mm-mm. No, both sides of the house were they were gone. They were totally just gone, and theirs was still standing and just some roof damage, nothing major. It was amazing.
Wow. And you
Mhm.
had mentioned your daughter having a crystal in a car, like just for protection. Tell us about that story real quick.
So that was it's hematite. We usually all have a hematite grounding stone. It's a dark stone. It's for set with intention of protection, and those two you can have those around your house as well. She bought a new car. She had her car for about a week, and she was driving up the street at night, and a deer jumped out in front of her and clipped her right in the uh, front quarter panel of the car, front fender, and gosh, devastating, brand new car. And so about a week later, I asked her, 2 days later, I asked her, I said, did you have the hematite stone in there? She's like, oh, no. So we ended up saging the car and putting
Right?
hematite in there. And so knock wood, all is good. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So, okay. So I know that I actually have a couple of bracelets that have, and I got them, they for grounding and just for protection. If you're just running out to the store and you just need to have a little something, where are some typical places that you could carry it? I mean, I know that, if you start carrying this and that and you wanted protection in this, where can you carry some of these stones?
Okay, so a lot of people will wear bracelets. You
Uh-huh.
can overdo it. I can say you can overdo it. They are energetic, they are energy, and one will counteract another. We talk about that in the crystal class, how that creates what we call a crystal chaos, because now you have this vibrating stone, and now next to it, you're going to put a calm stone, and those two are going to counteract each other. So wearing bracelets, just be careful how many that you do and what, and we'll talk about in the crystal class about your incoming energy versus your outgoing energy as well. What energy do you want to bring in and what energy do you want to give out? So bracelets, thinking about what energy in, what energy out. Also, the stones that go with the chakras, you want to try to wear them as close to that chakra as possible. So if you're having root issues, use the red, the darker stones in your pants pocket, which is closer to the chakras. So you can have them in your pants pocket. If your heart chakra needs a little work, if you've got a necklace that hangs right by your heart, great. If you don't, guess what? We've got bras. And the bras are
The
awesome.
over the shoulder boulder holder for
Yes.
those that, hey.
So many of us women have stones in our bras. Sorry, guys, that's way too much information.
I
But
know.
it's such a great place to put it, and it's so close to the heart that it's just wonderful. So
It does.
yes, anytime that you can wear necklaces, bracelets, earrings, gosh, wherever you can put them in your house. And this one here, I do have to share this one with you. This is selenite. There you go, selenite sticks. Those are awesome. I highly, highly, highly encourage you that if you do not have one of these, please place it by your front door and set it with the intention of abundance. So it's nice and square, and it goes right above the molding. So you don't even know that it's there, but it's awesome for abundance. And again, the definition of abundance is whatever you want it to be. Abundance of love, abundance of friendship, abundance of money. That's totally up to you. But this is fantastic. So I do highly recommend that one.
Now I know that you had mentioned even you've got you've actually accumulated certain groups of stones for people that maybe need more self empowerment, or you need they're looking for love. They really want that. So you offer a few of those, don't you?
I do. I have them made up in these nice little bags.
Okay.
They're self-love bags, and they come with the description of the stones that are in there. Excuse me. So, for example, this one is a self-love bag. with, you've got rose quartz for love, you've got smoky quartz for protection, and you've got amethyst for being peaceful. So, and I also give you the mantras: I am loved, I am safe, I am calm. So each time that you carry these with you, and again, I put them in these nice soft bags. So for us that carry them in our bras, this is nice and soft. We just wrap it up and tuck it in the bra or in the pants pocket or wherever you're in your car. You know, they're just great for protection wherever you may need it. So yes, we do anti-bully bags. So if your children are being bullied, we have those similar like this, where you can buy an anti-bully bag and they can carry that around with them as well.
That's awesome. Well, Cathy, we're getting down to the end of our hour here. Can you tell people again how they can reach you? And again, you're doing so many things on Zoom that you don't have to be local here in the Raleigh, North Carolina area where you're at to participate. How can they reach you again?
So I would love for you to reach out to soulyholistic.com. That's SOULY holistic.com. We are on Facebook as Souly Holistic, Meetup as Souly Holistic, and again, soulyholistic.com.
And you have plenty of classes and everything's on your website, right?
It's on the website, and all the events are on Facebook and Meetup. And yes, oh my gosh, please join, a lot for free. We even do a Wednesday meditation free every single Wednesday. 15-minute, take a break and allow yourself to have a break.
Definitely. Well, that's awesome. And I really can't thank you enough for joining us. I think this has been really clear for a lot of people to understand some of the dynamics and things they maybe didn't get a chance to ask. But you have, I will attest, I've actually had some of this done and it is amazing. And she's a little powerhouse with her hands. But I do want to take some time and just say thank you again for joining me today, Cathy. My name is Lisa Ann. You've been listening to Message Delivery. You can't make this stuff up. And you can reach me for a reading to get messages from your angels and loved ones. I'm a psychic intuitive medium channeler, and you can reach me at angelmessages2u.com. That's angelmessages to the number 2, the letter u.com. We are so grateful that you joined us today. We've got other big, exciting shows coming up. Please join us back, and you all have a fantastic day. Be safe.